I told you this channel was going to be me talking about how I know the answers to everything and how everything in freelancing is sunshines and rainbows. I'm going to be talking about my failures too and helping you guys out with how to avoid them. And this month has been a huge failure. So basically in the last 4 weeks, I've been working 14-hour days, 7 days a week with, 6 to 8 hours on Sunday. I've just had a whole bunch of work pile up on me very quickly. And people have been saying, oh, that's awesome. Like, you're hustling, it's going great, whatever. And that would be true, but I haven't been making any money. And making money is not a why to me. It's not my purpose, but I do need to make money to keep this thing going. So today I'm going to kind of break down what went wrong and how I could avoid this in the future in a way that is productive. It's reflecting productively rather than me just ranting to a camera, although that does sound pretty good. So what this all really boils down to is the fact that I've always taken on too many projects at a time. Usually it's around 4 to 6, which is still too much, but this last 4 weeks, I've had about 8 to 9 clients on the go at one time. And again, people are like, wow, that's amazing. You've got so much work. It's awesome. But I'm going to tell you exactly why it isn't a good thing. The first thing is that both the client and I expect a deadline that is reasonable and that they would get if they were my only client. And if I give 8 to 9 people a deadline as if they were my only client, your boy doesn't sleep. And that is brutal. The next one is that things just start slipping through the cracks. And this one really gets me. It should never happen. People chasing up things that I hadn't sent through. Things like that, not good. And once you take on too much work, you got too much going on, mentally you're overwhelmed, things just start slipping through the cracks, and I do not like that at all. And tying into this thing slipping through the cracks is also operating reactively rather than proactively. I think it's really important for anyone to show initiative, to turn projects in early and to go that extra mile for clients. And that's what I've kind of pride myself on in the past, but it's really just fallen to the wayside recently, and I am not happy about it. The next problem is, since I'm trying to be a digital Swiss Army knife, I'm constantly switching from Shopify mode to marketing mode, from Google ads to Facebook ads, into design mode. And it takes a toll mentally at the best of times, but especially when you've got so much on the go that it takes longer to switch between these modes, and overall the potential output eventually just decreases, and again, just something I'm not happy about. And the last problem is that taking on new clients is actually counterproductive financially. And what I mean by this is when you have multiple projects on the go, if a client's not giving you something that you need to continue, you just say, hey, that's fine, give it to me when you're ready, whatever. And things start to drag on, you're not chasing up clients as much, and it could add weeks to a project. And for me, I get paid I get paid at the start, but I also get paid when it's done. So now let's look at some of the solutions. And I know right off the bat that one of my weaknesses is saying yes to everything. So I need to get better at not necessarily saying no, but being able to say, hey, I'd love to work with you. I'm not available until January. If this doesn't work for you, that's totally fine. But if it does, let me know. I'll send through a quote and we'll talk in January. It sounds so simple. It sounds really straightforward, but yeah, it's something I have never done, and I'm starting to now actually, but I think a lot of people do struggle with this. Another thing I need to have a look at is pricing. And I've always undervalued myself, particularly with my websites. And this is what takes up the bulk of my time. It's the bulk of what I do is building websites. And this is just something I need to improve if this business is going to keep going. Just the amount of time I put into each website is just not equating to the amount that I'm charging. So yeah, this is something I need to look at. Something I need to look to in the new year is outsourcing my weaknesses. And essentially, just to provide an example, recently I've done 2 fairly large e-commerce websites, which required me to enter in a lot of product data into Excel. And it's tedious, and it chews up a lot of my time that I could spend actually designing the website. So finding some Excel nerd out there would be great. So there you go. Sounds pretty straightforward, doesn't it? And I've had these realizations in the past, but I think I'm realizing now that it's a necessity to implement these solutions if I want to keep doing what I'm doing, which I definitely do. Thanks for tuning in after my mini hiatus. I hope you're having the best week, and click like, click subscribe, comment if you have any recommendations for me. I've only listed 3 solutions. I'm sure there's more out there. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Cheers.